they want me off here so they could put high-rise places here. I said, no, this is Aboriginal land. I said, no, I'm not going to.
This land that we walk around on is worth billions.
Because I don't see why we've got to give this piece of land up. This is the first piece of Aboriginal land was ever given back to the Indigenous Aborigines. And like I said last Saturday, it's like a...
This is Aboriginal elder Auntie Joyce Ingram. For the last 6 years, she's been fighting to keep her home. It's an open house in a fading community, a community entrenched in drugs and crime. Auntie Joyce has lived in Redfern all her life. She was here when they pressured the Whitlam government to help with the housing crisis her people faced in Sydney. In 1975, the government gave back to the Aboriginal community this small parcel of land called the Block. The Block became an icon. Aboriginal people from all around Australia came from everywhere in hope to find lost family links, work, opportunity and companionship. Today there are still many homeless in Redfern. But instead of building homes, houses have been bricked up or torn down.
Just been donated some meat.
Auntie Joyce has seen it all. The deaths and the dancing, the raids and the riots, and now the heroin.
Auntie Joyce is 82 years old. She's lived here nearly all her life. She's the glue that held this community together. As we know, Aboriginal people more often end up in jail. She's the contact point for people. They ring her, they leave messages here for her so that their families know what's going on to them.
Bake their cake as fast as you can. Picture to patches and put it and see.
Hello? No, I'm still in Redfern.
Everyone knows the phone number, even like other nationalities, you know what I mean? They ring up here too, you know what I mean? And mostly everyone from the block, all the Koreans and Aboriginals, they all ring up here. When I'm locked up, I ring up here. Get in contact with my girl. Just to talk and like, when you're going to come visit. Like that, yeah.
I believe that my phone number's all over the walls in jail, or toilets, whatever. As far as Brisbane, if you want to talk to somebody, ring up Auntie Joyce or Nanny Joyce, they call.
And she has done a lot of things for the boys who's done jail, and that he knows her since, you know, when they was little. So when they ring up, they just tell her who we are and that. She says, oh, I'll go and see if she's around for you, you know, or, you know, if your father's around, or if your mother's around, you know, or if your niece or nephew's around. She's like the little angel. Wherever she is, she's watching us, she's listening. She sees what's going on.
Being in jail without a friend or a family there that you can get some news from, it'd be a very sad thing, a very lonely thing. I said, well, I'll bring somebody in to talk to and cheer them up. And that's why, and I've been doing that for over 20 years now.
Auntie Joyce's home is the only one left on her street. Her neighbours have all gone and their homes demolished.
Give me my key.
The Aboriginal housing company that manages the housing on the block wants to rid the area of its drug trade. To do this, it plans to start with a fresh slate, new housing and a clean selection of Aboriginal families. This means demolishing these homes and relocating the existing families.
We are sowing the seeds of another 100 years' worth of unrest and dissatisfaction. This is Aboriginal land. This is Aboriginal land. They are entitled to it, and the whole notion that you can just move some Aboriginals in and some others out denies the really strong feeling that we all have with our own space, with our own territory.
The drug trade is going to destroy this community so they can come here and just take over. But hey, we've fought. And the company said we've done what we had to do. We laid authority in the community and said enough's enough. The drug trade got to go. So we fought very hard in this company, and I believe what we are doing now is going to be better for the future.
Robbing on both sides of the block from the time it started. But I lived around here long before this block was ever thought of. Had my 15th birthday in Caroline Street. Lived over in Regent Street there. So I was married in Lawson Street there. My eldest son was born there. My grandmother at the age of 106 passed away there. But they got no chance of moving me unless they dig me out.
I think everyone knows that this is a high drug use area. It started off as a high alcohol use area. Substance abuse is rife within a community that is alienated and dispossessed. Unfortunately, heroin has made inroads into this area.
There is a level of organised crime now on the block. I've got to say that probably about 6 years ago it was much worse. At that stage you could have readily identified 15 drug houses, and that's quite a large concentration in a very small area. It was so concentrated that you actually had the backyards as boundaries, and when one drug dealer moved into the boundary of another, then there was basically trouble. There was knives, guns out, the whole bit, baseball bats.
Heroin came in to an already group of people who were substance abusers. And rather than working together as a community to fix that problem, people were offered or in fact encouraged to leave, to run away from the problem rather than fixing it. And what happened? That those who could did, and only left those who had no choice. That in fact created the microcosm that demonstrates what anybody who studies social issues know. It's that when you concentrate poverty, when you concentrate alienation, when you concentrate poor parenting, and you concentrate criminality, you spiral downwards. And that's what started to happen here 20 years ago.
The fact is, nobody, whether it be your neighbours, whether it be the government, will tolerate the crime and corruption and the crap that goes on here. It just cannot go on anymore. 30 years is enough. We don't want drug dealers here. We don't want criminals here. This is the last chance this community has. The best way to handle drug dealing, especially in housing of a social nature, is eviction and relocation. And systematically over the last 6 years, we've gotten rid of quite a lot. I think at the moment there's probably 5 or 6 maybe drug dealers left. Criminals are like cockroaches. You switch on the light, they scurry. And we're basically switching on the light in the kitchen here.
I've noticed that your house is the only house actually
It's the only live house on this side of the street.
How come? How did that happen?
Well, he got rid of that old woman. She's a bit older than me, she was. Polly Smith was her name. She was in a different position. She was a worrying person, and she worried about it too much, and that would kill her. I said, if that hadn't come up, she'd had another 5 years easy on her life. But from worrying about being murdered, didn't know where she's going to go, and at her age, and it's a disgrace, and it's an insult to us, to Aborigines, especially elders.
Yeah, that's all right, thank you.
Taylor comes in. Coppers there, yes. We're in the fucking shed.
Auntie Joyce was left in a situation where her house was the only one standing, with houses falling down all the way around her. The house beside her, but one, was demolished, and that demolition destabilised her house. She had, at the back of one of the derelict houses beside her, there was a heroin shooting gallery. That meant that in her backyard she had people who were effectively killing themselves. That's not a good place for an old lady to be.
I've had some good offers, beautiful places. First, you just imagine giving me offering me an apartment that would be worth $180, $85, and for me to pay you $60 a week. How long would you let me stay there? I said, I'd smother in this place. I said, no thanks, give it to somebody else.
When you look at it, what we're building here is a 50-year plan, a 100-year plan. So the next generation and their children, what do they want? Not necessarily what some of the older people who may not be around for too much longer want. We want to export education, job opportunities, spirituality, values, culture. We'd like to see the whole of Redfern become a cultural tourist mecca, and the block beats heart.
But the new vision is our people working together, living together, and our vision too is the new beautiful complex of brand new houses for our people and for the next generation. I believe the Lord had his hand on this company from the beginning, but we have to suffer. We have to go through the vicious cycle of suffering before it ever come good. Now we've been through that, we've been at rock bottom, and you watch out, mate, we're going to climb to the highest. This place can be one of the best places that people are going to see. People will say, oh, gee, look at Redfern, how beautiful it is. And people say, oh, we used to live there. So, this is it's going to be a picture that people are going to just, it'll blow them away.
Why should I leave here at my age, at the age of 81, and deprive these young children, the future generation of our Indigenous tribe, to be lost and say, where do we come from? You can say anything to these kids. Where do you come from? They'll say from the block. But what country do you come from? Don't know. This is where we come from, the block. This is their home.
The Aboriginal Housing Company has found Auntie Joyce suitable public housing outside of the block, in the nearby suburb of Waterloo. After 6 years of resistance, Auntie Joyce reluctantly decides to go.
But now, see, it's very plain here with these people, because it's a new style. They want this land, and they want to build high rises or expensive apartments here. But why should they have Aborigines here? So they've got to get rid of the dirty old Aborigines, so they can build nice apartments for the white people. Where are you going to put the Aborigines? Anywhere you can go, get way back in the back blocks. We haven't got a leg to stand on, never did have. And what leg we did have, they chopped it out from under us.
Arnie Joyce and her home have been the backbone of the block for over 25 years. Today she was asked to open and bless the new focal point, a community centre adjoining the block.
Thank you.
Two elders. And they can't budget.
This same week, she also has to leave her home.
Hallelujah. Heavenly Father, I am feeling the sadness now, my God, as it's sitting in on me, Father. I do ask Thee, my God, to bless this land in the name of Jesus. And I thank You, my God, for the revival that You're going to have here. Bless each and every one of the people, my Lord and Savior. Lord, I hear Christian. Itayara Kosundura Yara Marakasili Yakaya Hunda. Hashikia Hoya. Thank You, Father. Raya. Om Narakandra Makashana. Ishaya Kasia. Honda Malakasia Koshikaya Mahaya. Hindaya Haya Haya. Hindaya Haya Haya. Honda Malakasia Koya. Honda Ishara Kasia. Honda Oya Bandaya. Niraya Korakasa Makashanda Krishya. Hoya Kaya Mahokaya. Hikaya. Munaraya Marikia. Hondaraya Mahasia Rakasanda. Hakara Mahashia. Isharakaya. Hondara Marakasia. Itaya Hoshokoya. Haya Mahaya. Irakai.
you know, I'm happy for her too because, you know, especially the state of affair this house in, you know, structure-wise, health-wise, the dampness, you know, and I mean, she's 81, you know, we've got to start looking after health, you know, and she served it, you know, she done her time here, she done it good for a lot of the people, you know, and like helping a lot of people around here, and as a elder, and, you know, I respect her for that, you know, but it is time for her to, I think it's time for her to like to move on too, you know.
Do you think she'll be missed?
Oh, of course she'll be missed, like everybody knows it. We all know her. I'll miss her myself because... But see, like, in the past, a lot of people thought that me and her, you know, they had one of those throat all them years, but we never. Me and her never had a verbal argument about any of the situation around here. Just what other people were saying, you know. But I'm happy she got a nice house, 4-bedroom, you know, and she got her grandkids with her, and she's, you know, very content at the moment.
I think that Auntie Joyce had to be moved because she was an icon. She was the person who swore that she would fight for this community. And by having her now gone, the fight has gone out of this community.